Apple's new M2 powered MacBook Air is a trap. I repeat, it's a trap unless you buy it only in the base model configuration. Let's talk about why my thoughts are like that when it comes to the new M2 MacBook Air. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team Tier Less the Tech Lover Squad so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Yes, WWDC 2022 pretty much has happened. Pre-recorded, and I wish it was in person, but that's another discussion for another day. Lots of people were actually allowed to come to the Apple Park for the first time. Obviously not myself, but I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions because as much as it is meant to be a software developer event, we did get new hardware announcement, and two, in fact, but the main one that was actually at the forefront of it all was the newly announced M2 powered MacBook Air. And it does look great. It's a great laptop, and it really is in reminiscent and in align with the design of what we've seen with the 14-inch. As you can see, I've got a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and I have some thoughts on why the M2 only makes sense in the MacBook Air when you buy it as a base model. Firstly, I'm going to preface this from the perspective of a UK buyer. I'm based in UK, so I'm going to look at this on the pricing at UK. The base model starts at £1,249. And I did a Twitter thread on this about my thoughts on why, by the looks of it, it only makes sense as a base model configuration, especially if you're comparing it to the base model 14-inch MacBook Pro and what you get with it. Yes, the M2 MacBook Air is a fanless design and it's a super thin design. Now, personally, I wish they found a way to keep the wedge design. I just think the wedge design is a unique identity to the MacBook Air, but regardless, this is a great looking design device. But at price point, for what you get with it, the base model, it starts at £1,249, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. And remember, you're only getting two USB-C ports, which are Thunderbolt 4 compliant or Thunderbolt compliant on the left side, not on the opposite adjacent side. So you are only trapped on charging as well as doing your data transfers and accessory attachments on the left side. You do have the headphone port on the right, which now does support high impedance headphones to drive them. Again, really nice touch. And you do have the return of MagSafe, very much like what you have on here. Personally, I would have much preferred a USB-A port. I'm gonna save that for my impressions video on the MacBook Pro 14-inch, if it's not been live already, so subscribe and stay tuned for that. But this is something that you have to bear in mind when it comes to it. The storage and the RAM, especially the storage and the RAM. Also, when it comes to the plug, you get the 30-watt adapter that comes with it as well. Single charge. You do have the new adapter that is 35 watts with two ports in there for USB-C, and you have support for the 67-watt charger. Let's really put this in perspective. If you want to spec in the UK, the MacBook Air as close to the base model MSRP of 1899 in the UK, directly from Apple for the base model of the 14-inch, you are looking at £1,749 compared to £1,899. There's a £150 difference. At that point, I discussed this on Twitter that you are missing a couple of stuff here. You are missing a full-size SD card slot, so useful. You're missing out the HDMI 2.0 output. You are also missing out the extra USB-C port on the right that gives you that bit of flexibility for charging on the right side as well as accessories management if you want to as well. You're not only just missing that, I kid you not, this Pro XDR display has been amazing when it comes to brightness. And this is not sponsored by them, but when you use this paid app called Vivid, you are able to tap into the full 1000 nits and above of sustained brightness, which is amazing. This is something that is definitely a game changer when it comes to that experience for the display. So that is a big difference there. And on top of that, you do have an overall stronger chipset when it comes to system on a chip, on the graphics and the performance cores layout with the M1 Pro, even if you're looking at the base model. And then you do have the option of going all the way up to 32 gigs of RAM if you want to, but even at the 16 gigabytes of RAM and you're comparing, this is something that is still great. The biggest stretch, like I said before, is 256 gigabytes is a far stretch to run on a mobile operating system nowadays. And 512 gigs is really what you're looking at. But then this is what the issue is. It's not even the 8 gigabytes of RAM. Then you're looking at MSRP pricing of what you can get brand new on places like Amazon, which literally retails this laptop between $1,750 to $1,763 brand new or like used in its current state. With that in mind, my only recommendation for this is if you're going to upgrade anything above, especially with how smart the memory and storage management is on Mac OS with these new ARM chipsets and Apple Silicon system on the chips that they've got right now, is to upgrade the storage. Now, if you upgrade the storage, you do go up to £1,449. If you look at the non-10 core, the 10 core one will come at £1,549. Away from that as well, you then get the option of the faster 67-watt charger as well. If you're actually speccing it, you can save that money, but I would spend that extra on the 10 core and the charger. Is well worth it. Again, remember, this is also from a UK perspective where at this point, I feel like this just makes the standard M1 MacBook Air even better value for what it is as a base model. This M2 feels premature. Not because it's going to be bad, but again, for performance, for efficiency cores, high single core threaded performance, better media engine that supports all the way up to HEVC 8K and H.264, as well as faster ProRes acceleration as if you needed it, but this is great to have. But it's still 5nm. I, in my personal opinion, feel like great they're maximizing a 5nm process, but the M2 would have been great on a 3nm process to really see the performance jump. But again, I feel like it's only a trap if you go above what it is as a base model config. I feel like this only makes sense as a base model purchase. And without having things like the fan, it almost makes what looks laughable, the 13-inch MacBook Pro with M2, with the touch bar, the thicker bezels, same display, and same design that hasn't changed since 2016, make more sense in terms of long sustained performance, which you're not really going to be able to get on the M2 for the MacBook Air. Anything beyond 10 minutes, if it's anything like what we experienced with the M1 from what I saw, yeah, it only makes sense as a base model. That's what my recommendation is with it if you're looking at it from a UK perspective. Let me know your thoughts. If you share the same thoughts, let me know. But as great as it is, I'll share more thoughts, but those are the things that really stick out to me. That's it for me. Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.